fake audio, real chaos. This is Combustion Booster featuring Chizuru. Today, I'll be walking you through how I created my audio volume currently match and giving you a bit of a vibe that seems the night most recent mod. I'm assuming you have Dolphin, extracted game files, Blender, Probox or Procreate, and Autodesk FBX Expert. All these are going to be very important. The TLDR of what this tutorial is going to be is basically I'm going to change the texture of a base cancer boost. Then we're going to go to Blender and edit create geometry with that cancer. And then we're going to re-import it using re-import mesh. Is when importing the model back. It's just going to keep the base model stuff that's already there. So you don't have to worry about the changing eye textures and other model shading parameters. But it does have downsides as those is what caused the weird shading in my Omni mod. I'll have the base be stuck. Compared to fully visual models, this benefits from diamond and mess with reggae and not having to start from nowhere. As you can just build from the solid bit. I would say an import is easier, as you don't have to make custom geometry and textures, but imports still need you to rig, and also, more often than not, you're gonna need to optimize the meshes that you use when you import. It's also a task. Just that you're going to wanna make a folder for characters just to keep it organized. Feel free to add as many folders as you want, subdivide these sections even more than I do. It's just good as helpful to keep organized. There's a lot of the same file types used in this, so more folders is generally better. So you've got more the game files, and I need to choose Peach, Daisy, or Rosalina for this one, since we're making Neighbor. So, with this one, I'm using Daisy, so I'm gonna be grabbing all the files that start with an M and end in a DS, and then also all those corresponding ones that end in _4. You're not gonna need the _2 files. Those are rare leftovers. And just put some thing about the files. The first letter is going to be the size, so middle is N, large is L, small is S, and for the character letters, Daisy has DS, Rosalina has RS, and Peach has PC. The team cards are gonna be the ones with red and blue, and the standard card is GF. The other ones are going to be A, B, C, D, E, and the bike and cart are goodwill, so be noted in the file. So you're gonna wanna make sure you end up with 32 files. If you don't, go back and get the ones you missing. And you're gonna put these all in another file to just keep the original ones in. Also, you're gonna want to separate the _4 files from the no files. For your normal files and a new one for like the rubies and _4, something like _4 leads. The _4 files are what other people see the character as, and the normal files are what you're gonna see the character as when you're the one driving it. So a good time to note, and these are going to be the models for when you're showing interviews. So, for example, when you're in the menu, it's gonna be different. It's still gonna look like the normal character. There's a way to change that too, but I'm not gonna go into that for this tutorial. You want to use Probox or Valkyrie to open these files. It is useful to set it as the default one for these file types, just so you don't need to go through the menu number of times you need to click it. Also for this tutorial, open one of the bike files. We're going to be using the bike outfit texture. So you're going to want to navigate through this by clicking the plus signs to expand the different segments of the file. And you're going to want to go from null to empty folder, then the driver null to the textures. And you're going to right click and extract the bike suit all as a PNG. Now you're going to want to use your preferred image editor to edit the images. Use a template of what part corresponds to what for the texture. For some tips, real quickly, I find it helpful to start with the shoot if you have no idea where to start. It's just easy to start with that. You can also pull up a reference image and use a dropper tool to get colors from it. And the key really is to make multiple iterations and just keep trying, even if it's like really small steps. Just like you have, you do a few blocks, like color on it just to see how it looks until you get a feel for it. Okay, so you have your texture. You want to see how it looks on the actual model. So you can go back to that SES, then navigate to the body texture again. This time, right click and replace the texture, the new texture you made. Then different texture formats when you import it, the default is usually good. The only time you may mess with this really is if you're getting crunched for space, or if you want to have transparency, but that's a whole different topic. Okay, so now you're gonna want to go to 3 models, right click on model, and preview. Now you do WASD to quickly expand boots. And use at the side, though you don't really need them. So how you operate this is you're gonna scroll in and out to zoom in and out. You right click and drag to land. You control right click and drag to the ground. Shift and right click to move faster, and control shift and right click makes you up and down and fast and makes you really disoriented. Do not do this. Use this to get your texture to where you want it to be. Once you have it in a decent enough spot to where you'd say, yeah, this kind of looks like my character, then that's when you know it's time to move on. Well, you come back here and edit the texture more. You notice something. Okay, so you have your do a texture decent enough that you can make out your character. So you want to export it for Blender. So what you're gonna want to do is navigate to the model in 3D models and right click and export it as a DAE. Now is when you're gonna need Autodesk FBX converter. It's very easy to use. Just drag the DAE onto it and convert it into the FBX. Now you're gonna wanna open Blender and drag FBX onto the scene to import it into the scene. Okay, so I'm not really gonna walk you through Blender in this tutorial. It's all live, and it's honestly something that you'll learn day by just doing. But a few things you wanna start out doing. First, get your texture in. So you're gonna get your pie texture in. If you haven't made that yet, make it the same way as the body texture, just to export the eye instead of the body. And there are different expressions they make, so I just take a reference, cut out the eye, and kinda just put it on there. It's very simple. So once you've input both those, you'll have something that sorta looks like your character, and you're gonna want to go into edit mode and just edit the vertices a lot until it looks like your character seems to be editing the hair, maybe editing the face a bit, adding some articles of clothing like the skirt. Okay, bullshit. I hear saying, I finished my model. It's a decent stuff. What I do now? Now hold on a sec. You want me to do a few things. First, you're gonna notice that your model's a bit clunky. That's because it's not shaded smooth. So, while you're in object mode, you're gonna wanna select the models and right-click Shade Smooth. Very simple. Also, I'd go to weights and normalize all. It's just a good thing to do. Double checking the vertex groups in the rigging is also a good idea. Sometimes you get a few stragglers. If you don't know what rigging is, don't worry. Usually it's not that much of a problem. But if you input your model into the game and the animations just don't look right for some reason, then it's probably a rigging issue. And I try to learn how to do that. The last test I do is just go into pose mode by clicking the skeleton in on pose mode and drag around the SKL root to make sure that everything moves. If you have a few vertices sticking, then you assign them to something. Now you can export it as an FBX. And you're gonna wanna make sure you uncheck add refunds in Arranger. You do not want refunds. And so you're gonna wanna get FBX converter out again, and you're gonna wanna take the FBX you got from Blender and convert it into a DAE using that drop-down menu. And then you're able to convert it. Do not export it as a DAE from Blender to input it into the raw box. It does not work. Your model becomes very broken. Do not do that. Export it as an FBX without refunds and convert it with FBX converted into a DAE. Now you can open up Procreate and you go to model under 3D models. Right click and you're gonna wanna do pre-import meshes. Do not replace model. Do pre-import meshes for this one. I'll show the settings you're gonna want on screen. And once you got that in, change all the textures to the ones you made and issue look like your character. I'd preview the model again to make sure everything's running well. Here is where at the top left area, after you extend out the menus, you can see there is an animation page. Click one of those and you can see how it looks when it's doing an animation. Again, it's a trial and error thing, so you're gonna want to do this several times until you get the model how you want. Also, now's a good time to go back and let's say, for example, on this one, I actually forgot to touch the bottom of the shoe. So now's a good time to go back and do that. Push everything up with your model and have it look basically. Now I just want to note that I'm sorry if I miss anything. I'm kind of rushing through this to get the mod out, because I want to get the mod out same time as this video, so sorry in advance. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. I'm bound to get a few important things. So don't be afraid to watch other tutorials as well. Try to cross-reference, try to do all the stuff you can to make the model work. So now you want to test it in the game. You're gonna satisfied with that. Oh, it's you. Shimazu game. So you're gonna want to save it. You go copy paste that file into your game files, and you will put up the game that the files were changed. Now you're just gonna go and do time trials, select your character, select your vehicle, and you're gonna try to see if it loads. If it crashes, that's not a good sign. That means something's wrong. And just wait and see if it works. And it looks all weird, like it's like a spiky bubble. that's something with the rigging. Or maybe you didn't export it from Blender correctly. That's gonna be one of the items. It's gonna be an export from Blender to Brawl Crate, somewhere on that line. You mess up if you're getting a spiky ball. So your character looks fine. You could run around a bit. I'd use the free org settings and dolphin just to make sure everything looks right. You could look around. I set most of my controls to my numpad. Just to give you an idea of how to set it up. And yeah, so it's good. Now we're on to the next one. I don't have much footage of this, but making the textures for the bike is pretty easy too. All you're gonna wanna do is go in there, export the body, order the tire, and you're gonna wanna open the image editor, edit it. Could also choose an icon and download like a 64 by 64 image of just like a white circle and the icon in the middle. Then we could just drag it in to your other ones without it being like a removable of the image all the time. I also made these files for the medium-sized carts and bikes that allow you to edit the codes pretty easily. They're labeled A and B, or A tire and B tire. Basically what you're gonna do is choose a primary color and secondary color. The primary color will be the color you're changing that makes all the A textures do. And the B color is all your B textures do. And you put them together and then you put them over the base texture. And it should get you a pretty solid thing. Oh, and also make sure to add the icons to them as well. I accomplished this in my photo editor, which I use Pixel, which is an online browser one. I accomplished this by I put them in. I make a shape of the color I want. And I copy and paste the, let's say it's A. I copy and paste A. And I use a mask to cut out the shape so that I have just the color in the shade of A. I put that over A. And then I do a mask, which is a color mask that allows it to basically change to that color. Consent would be for the A's and B's and all of them and put them over the base and don't put the icons. And you should have a pretty decent set of color and bike textures. Now you're at the stage where you're gonna be basically just putting these all into the normal files and it's gonna suck. So what I recommend is basically how the models work. Is there are 3 types basically. There's one for the inside bikes, there's one for the outside bikes, one for the car. So what I do is I only do that whole model import process 3 times. One for each of the like classes among, and I export the BRRES file, so I could just replace it for the other ones. It's much faster than going through like replacing all those eye textures and stuff. And now you just kind of want to go through all of the normal files and replace the BRRES file and the texture for the cards. And once you do that, you're almost done. Now the problem is the underscore 4 models are basically a simpler version of the normal models, which means they have the character pre-posed and you're gonna have to make it yourself. So I'll guide you through that. Now in the 4 models, you're also gonna have the inside bike, outside bike, and cart models for the positions. So just choose one of those. And all you're gonna do is go into them, export the model as a DAE, convert it to an FBX, and I bring it into your blender. I'd also make a note to save a copy of your blender because we're gonna be destroying the armature. So just to be safe, make a copy. Now that you have the BX in there with your original model, you're gonna want to go into pose mode and just kind of rotate the bones and stuff until you get something that's close enough. It's not gonna matter a whole lot. But once it's close enough to what the actual model looks like, you're gonna want to go into modifiers. I think it's a wrench, and you're gonna want to hit that like upside down arrow, and you're gonna want to apply and do up both the face polygon and the like rest of the body polygon. Now you're gonna want to delete the armature of your model, and you're gonna want to scale it. What I do is I just grab both of them. I do S0.01, and then click, and then I do RX90, and then that brings it back to what it should be. And then also you're gonna go to the vertex groups and just clear it, because the other model, it's just all one vertex group. Now you're gonna want to control click both your polygons, and then control click your other armature, the armature you got from the floor model. And you're gonna want to paint with the empty groups. It's also where you could delete the other models from the floor model. Now go into edit mode, select all the vertices. You did this by pressing A, and assign it to that one vertex group that you shot there. And you could check it by doing select, deselect. It should select all of them and deselect all of them. I do weights now, so you don't really need to do this, but I just do it just in case. And do that with the face too. And once you've done that, you're ready to export this as an FBX without any refunds, just like you did the model. And you can import it really similarly. So just to run through that again, you're going to take the FBX, put it in FBX, convert it to a DAE. Then you're gonna re-import meshes into Procreate. This time you can use the floor model, and each model is actually gonna have to be separate for each of the 3 different types, since they are pre-posed. But same will be for the other ones, even though it might seem a bit weird when you're in the current one, since it's going to be the card texture with like the dress, but don't worry. The armature works out fine. It works out fine, just pose it. Same position, it should work out. Now do the same BRRES strap for these 4 models. Name them something a bit different. But you're gonna wanna go through and basically do the exact same thing you did with the 1 models for the 4 models, using the 4 models BRRES files. At this point, you should be pretty much done with everything. You got all your character models in both the normal and the 4 models. You got your current textures, and I tested getting Dolphin to make sure that everything's working properly. No, that's basically it for the tutorial. I know there's some things you're probably still confused about. I don't really go into detail of the texture editing or the blending. I'm sorry that I just made this video way too long. And also I just don't have the expertise to really tell you. For the blender thing, you should be able to figure out yourself, sorta. There are other tutorials that explain how to use blender much better than I could ever do. If you're wondering about how I approach modeling blender, I just got out like extreme parentheses and just infinite extrusion and just like moving around parentheses. until it gets to where I kind of want it to be. As for the image editing, I use Pixel. It does a 3-day export on it, but you can bypass that using different instances of incognito mode. So that's what I do. It gives you basically all the tools you need to really create image editing software. As for the reference image of the body and also the medium-sized color templates, I guess you would call them, I will keep them in a Google Drive down in the description of this video. Also, feel free to leave comments if you're having trouble with something. I'll try my best to help you. I don't know everything, so I might not be able to, but I'll do my best. Also, any comments on this video itself would be greatly appreciated. If there's something I missed or something you want to add, something I can improve on, I'd love to know. Or if you want me to do other tutorials on other stuff, if there's interest for it, I might do it. For example, if I see interest from, I don't know, how to do an AI cover of a song to try to help that. If you want porting tutorial, I'm also able to do modding in some other games. If you're interested in me doing a custom track, that's an option too. To close this up, I just want to tell you a bit about the, I guess, mod pack I'm doing. It's gonna take a bit for me to release Luca. So yeah, it takes a bit of time. I am planning to do, like, complete all the characters because I know I have Sumi and Bowser the Game Ready. More stuff to them, like, sound effects and stuff. But that's gonna way later. And actually before that, I'll have a mini surprise after Ruka, if you catch my drift. I'll be in deep gratitude if you're able to check out my other videos or other mods. I think they're cool. If you think they're cool, you should probably subscribe. Right now I'm showing with 1 subscriber, which it gets a bit lonely. Pegayo, Real Chaos. This has been Commotion Toaster, featuring Chizuru.